Okay. I don't know. I think you're right. I think this is how I was gonna approach it when I got ready to post her speech. I was gonna do what Trump had said, and then the rappers. I was definitely gonna do that.
But I realized the rappers are not running for to be commander in chief. But at the same time, the remarks are the remarks. The remarks.
Yeah, and
if you are so upset about how men view women, then it doesn't matter if they're rappers or whoever. You should just be upset at how they view women, period. And it does come across, somewhat, someone else gets a pass and somebody doesn't, because you have had certain people, rappers at the White House, who do speak poorly about women. And, the other, like I said, the other guy.
I think that's one of the problems of Black America. I think that's one of the problems, that we have so many double standards.
Yeah.
Because, number one, we get all up in arms about certain things. Like, for instance, when a white cop kills a African American person, we're doing marches. But when an African American kills another African American,
there's no march.
I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about we don't get upset like we should.
When you got people who have a hatred for you, you do give them an excuse to treat us a certain way. It's like Eliana Van Zant, when she went to Ferguson, she said, "Well, why don't we teach them how to treat us by how we treat each other?" And that was very, very poignant. That was very, very.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It is. When you see certain things, and okay, I'll give you a good example. Like when I went to the Adventist church many years ago, and they say, "Oh, we don't believe in dancing," but then you see the congregation and they're dancing through two Christian music. I know what dancing is, but don't let me look at something I know what dancing is, and then you tell me that you don't believe in dance because I see you dance.
Or you don't believe in playing spades, but you'll play rook.
Yeah. So it's like old people say that's pissing on my head, calling it rain. I mean, and when people look at the outside culture, they look like, okay, Michelle, you're upset because this happened, and it is totally unacceptable.
But when you invite, like I said, I agree with what she said in her speech, but you give people an excuse to pick your stuff apart when you have had certain people in your company who have used derogatory language towards women. Exactly. And I feel like even though it was somewhat of a deflection and somewhat, it has nothing to do with the person because they're not running for the presidency. But still, a comment is a comment.
Yeah.
And if you upset about it all.
You have to be, because if you're not, then you're
picking and choosing. You're cherry picking what you want to be upset about, and who can say it.
Exactly.
You're going to give the rappers a pass. Now, I'm not one to think that rap music is bad. All of it is bad. I don't think hip hop is all bad. I don't think that. I don't think it's the decline of the. I don't. All of this stuff. They said the same thing about rock and roll, but.
And you're right. I think art is art, and I think there's different levels of art, and then some people could be upset with one. But if you have that much influence, then you have responsibility too.
Right.
You can, because you can't say, "Oh, I made a song about treating women this way." Well, they don't.
And they tried to drag Beyonce in about her formation when he, this and I take him to the, all of that. So it's like. It's going to be people out there like that who already have something against you. So when you really take a stand against something, they're going to pick stuff apart. They're going to say, "Well, you associated with this rapper," and then somebody, Bakari, was saying, "Well, they also stand up for social justices and all of that." Well, a Trump supporter can say, "Well, he wants to fix the economies," and
that's true.
It's double, standards. Not that I'm supporting. I definitely don't. I think he's just anyway. But what I'm saying, but when you got people who are really for him, they can pick your stuff apart when you say stuff like that. Yeah, he may be. You just gave this rapper, whoever this entertainer, a pass because they want running to be a president, but
And you can't.
And they're entertainers, but then and like I said, the Trump supporters are saying, yeah, well, he's, and they stand up. The rappers are entertainers. They stand up for social issues. So that's what I'm saying. They're saying, and that's what their point is. He's trying to fix the economy.
Yeah.
Forget about his moral compass, which he has none. There is no moral compass with him, and I'm simply saying is that you got people who are so blinded by that, and they're looking for any way to attack Clinton supporters and what they say.
Yeah. But you're giving them an opening when you
take up with certain people who make comments.
If you come out with one, come out on the other.
Come out on the other.
And if you come out on both, then, and when I do a critique, I try to do a critique on both. And people get upset when you do the critique on the other side. But every side has a point. And if you can't see that another side has a point, then that's where the problem is.
But I just believe with him, because, and I don't want to sound flip-flop, but the point that Bakari was making, well, they're not running for office. Well, they're not, but we're just strictly talking about the comments alone. Just the comments alone. But I do say, if you're running for office, you definitely don't want anybody like that, because he's power hungry.
Oh yeah.
He if you have no restraint with how you throw your power around, you're not gonna be that. You're gonna be that way with this country. If somebody pisses you off, then you're gonna do something. Probably want to get nuclear weapons to bomb or do whatever, and so he's just not diplomat. He is not. He has no control.
And see, I think
he feels entitled, and he should not be president. And there's people running around who can't see that he's the only man I've noticed who can offend.
Yeah.
He's offended veterans. He's offended blacks.
Yeah.
As if we don't have, we're just downtrodden. We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
He's offended Mexicans, and I'm pretty sure Native Americans, and I'm sure it's probably coming. The disabled.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's done that.
He's done that. Okay, so he's managed to women.
Yeah.
He don't like the way pregnant women. I mean, how do you manage to? My thing is, if you continue to run your mouth and talk, why do you need so much defending?
But you know what?
Because you keep saying the wrong things.
There's one thing I like about Trump. And I'm going to say
oh my goodness.
There is one thing I like about Trump.
That you can see his hand?
Well, that's part of it. Here's the thing I like about Trump. But this is what I like about him being used as his vessel. His ideals are not new. Only thing different is him.
He's expressing it.
Yes, that's the thing. But exactly. But what he's done though, and he's not doing it. He's not a mastermind.
Somebody said that talking to Clinton or dealing with Clinton is like playing chess when and you're really good at it. I may not be the exact quote. Dealing with Trump is talking to Trump or dealing with him is like playing checkers and you're really bad at it.
Yeah.
Then with him, it's like
they have this thing in the store they call I don't know if they sell them anymore, but they used to have this thing that they call like decon. Used to have this defogger for roaches, right? But when you let it off, you have to lay the house, right? But then when you come back, you see these roaches laying everywhere dead. But they laying in places that you didn't see before. They came out though, right?
Yeah.
He's a defogger because some of these people we didn't even know were racist until he came around. Then we see people who are support, like when he came to Madison, Alabama, he had a serious crowd here. They said it was over 20,000 people. And we didn't even know that many people in Madison would go to a thing. But where'd they come from? He's a defogger. They came out. So now so we have to give him, not really him, but we have to appreciate his position in that happening, because now, after this whole thing blows all over, we know how to deal with some of these people now. Because the people, the red mark we see is their Trump bumper stickers now. McCain and Romney and Reagan and Bush, you could always say it's an era. I mean, I get the aroma of racism, but I don't know. No, there's no doubt about it. But
it was some. I didn't care for either one of them, but it was still a level. Bush at least had the baby Bush had at least enough sense to surround himself with smart people.
And Hispanics loved him. He got 25% of Hispanic.
And the daddy had a little sense.
But see what it was, They hate class. I hate to say that. They hate class. And
There's a certain diplomacy about them, but that Trump,
because
he's low.
even though we didn't like, I mean, I didn't care for Reagan. I didn't care for him. I didn't care for the daddy Bush. But W, he was an idiot, but he was a lovable idiot. You know, like when you have friends or people you hang around with, there's something in them that's a little bit like you. Because you cannot hang around people for a long period of time if there's not something.
You hit on something. It's off the beaten path a little bit, but I heard this couple say, you draw people, you draw who you are, not what you want. You don't draw what you want. You draw who you are. So if any of us, most of us have picked the wrong people in life because it was something in us that was lacking.
Exactly. Or
hadn't been dealt with. And that's why we chose this poor choice of a man or a woman. And then we walk away mad. No, you need to be mad at yourself because you picked that. And